Alright, here we go. I'm still Iejir, and I just kind of wanted to show you this. I made just a quick little armor design, but now that I actually switched my textures around, I can actually show you this. There's one thing I like about beamers. Just to come into the weapon test, just fire a bunch of missiles, and light shows. Now, you can see, they're not the greatest in point defense just because they don't do that much damage, but they are guaranteed hits. Anyway, now to hit and turn. Just quick check, make sure I'm still making money like I want. There we go. And as you can see, I apparently boosted it a little far as, an accident happened. However, this is probably the best accident you can get, where you just lose some research. Nothing blew up, nothing, decided to rebel. And the police cutter is actually going to come out this turn. So it's going to drop that a good bit. So I'm just going to drop this down. Back to where I'm still getting, at least where I'm not losing money. Actually, for this, I think I'll probably just leave it where I'm not losing any money. And you can see the colonies are, getting cheaper. And if so you can see Zenith 2 is actually collecting taxes, but I'm not going to be getting a net income from it just because, well, it's costing me a lot more. Just have it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this turn. And I'm just not having any kind of luck on my planets. Oh, one thing to keep track of, that economy screen will not show you a planet you're about to colonize. Let's see, it's an empty planet. That's got one. Oh, yellow stars, why not? Let's see if those will actually have a planet. Oh, and it looks like that one's going to be out of endurance. Oh, let's try Yeth. Maybe I'll get lucky with Yeth.
Yes, Elder. I will scout for you.
Zune's actually completed its build order. Now you do actually have to put the police cutter in the defense tab, but from there it'll automatically go. And actually I built a freighter so you can see the box is filled in. Now these tick marks you see on the bar, that determines roughly about what one good is. And it's not a bad idea to look at the screen every once in a while, make sure none of your non-trade planets aren't building any kind of trade. And I tell you what, I'm just making all kinds of mistakes. I forgot to upgrade the way station. Now personally, assuming I can get the freighters out quick enough, I like going for docks first. But I'm actually going to mix it up and put in a habitation first, then the docks, then another habitation. Basically, docks determine how many freighters you can hold, and the habitations just give you a bonus on trade. Now, I'm actually going to punt the last, build one warehouse, since I require one warehouse to actually build. For warehouses, they let you, pause the, they let you increase the amount of goods you produce more than your docks. You won't get any money for them, but if later you actually need to drop down so you can actually build something quickly, then, that is one option. Yeah. The downside of the trade slider is it actually will sit and prevent you from, it comes out of the construction capability. You can see, I can only build 7,000 worth of ships, which is actually still fairly decent. And that also is based on population. Now that I got that prototype out, I can just sit there and build more. And it's 3, freighter slots per level station at max docks, and it requires roughly, 3 police cutters and a naval station to completely prevent most pirate attacks.
The steel singers are ready to build.
See, I've actually got no trade income yet, but I will be working on that. And I'm actually still going to be making money because, well, Some things are more expensive than others. Just sit there and tap that. Too much. There we go. You get a notice when you build some freighters. You get a notice when you build ships and when, the shipyards are empty. I've actually got this ship coming over here to build a naval station. I'm actually just going to sit here and, build the ships I'm going to need for this. Actually, on second thought, I won't do that. I'll save the money until later when I get more for it. And, as you can see, since my slider's way down, it's going to take me a little longer than originally thought to make that. However, I can live with that. Alright, got the 2 police cutters built there, and you can actually see I've started to get a little trade income. Now, trade income based on where it's shipping. You don't need any civilian stations where you're shipping it to. You don't need any freighters where you're shipping it to. You just need those where it's starting. But where it goes determines how much money you get. Now, if it goes to a different province, you'll get more money. If it goes to a different, faction, you'll get more money. If you have a trade agreement with them anyway. And back here, gonna do the same. More slider fun. Now, later on in the game, you can sit there and not do quite as much with it. But, beginning of the game, I find that 100% is a good level, especially for the Lear. Other people have suggested just, burning your morale for tax and just moving the slider as far as you can, and just getting it at 50% and then cut it back until it hits about 10 turns. Either way works. I like doing this way because it lets me keep building stuff. And look at the trade screen real quick. I have one good, but I don't have any more docks, so there's no reason for me to up the amount of planets, the amount of goods I'm getting. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a quick turn. Now, as you can see, I'm actually getting a little more in trade income. I'm fairly certain that your trade routes do increase with time. I'm not entirely certain how that works. I just know, as long as you have them, they'll go, and they work well. Still getting that, 100,000 growth, and it's going to still take me a little longer than I really want. But, see, I built another freighter, so I can actually sit there. Oop. Don't have a dock built yet for it. You can see the little triangle? That means there's a freighter, but there's no dock surrounding it. Now, the heavy freighters, you will see a slash. That's just telling you that you have an extra good you can produce. The triangles are your docks and freighters only. Something else I wanted to talk about while I was here, since we have some defenses now. So if you hit menu, you have the main menu, just goes back. You lose any of your save data. Save game, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. Options. The options on the main screen, you have more options for. But on this screen, you do have a set of options as well. The in-turn delay, it goes from 3 to actually just hit the button and then turn. I like keeping it at 3 just because, well, I do mess up. I'm not entirely certain what the separate star map focus does. The background combat is just something on the main menu that's kind of neat. The subtitles, I always put subtitles on just because I like making sure I know what they say. The check for inactive fleets will actually, you hit end turn, it counts down. It'll pop up saying, you have inactive fleets, are you sure you want to end the turn? The global chat is that little chat there, and autosave, it'll save at the end of a turn and before combat. And at the beginning of a turn, if I remember correctly. And then music, speech, sound effects, and then sound at all. However, the one, hotkeys, you can go through a list of the hotkeys, resume game, you know what that is. But the auto options is something a little different. The auto options are stuff to make it a little more convenient. The auto place will place, the police cutters, well, those kind of go in battle with pirates anyway, but it'll let, any platforms you build, minefields, defense boats, it'll place those for you. The repair assets, sometimes I want to actually repair specific ships, so I actually leave that off. But you can sit there and, when you go to a system that has a repair available, whether through a repair and salvage ship, or naval station, or just planets themselves, it'll automatically repair for you. Goot module is something that'll repair your armor. And the Joker, well, apparently it's like the Wild Weasel of the previous game. Huh. I have that selected. Alright, basically what this is some weapons actually require you to pick a target. I'm not very fond of those, so I don't use them, but apparently you can set it so they, fire on their own. And auto patrol post missions. As long as they have endurance, they'll actually sit there and patrol the system instead of coming back. Useful at times, but anytime that they start to come back, you can tell them to patrol anyway. Just gonna hit resume game, and in turn. And I think this will be the last turn for this video. As we sit there and come, and there we go. Zoon's completed all its freighters and stuff. That's always nice. And built another freighter. And as you can see, we have more goods. Now, since I actually completed everything, I'm just going to go ahead and say produce 3 goods. That good will just kind of get shuffled around. But this way I don't have to look at the screen again and I'll, still get the benefit. You see, I'm still getting that 1665, but that'll be going up fairly quickly. And I've got, more money I can put towards more research. More research gives me more money. And I'm going to be not quite getting the 100,000, but that's okay. That's 3,000 isn't going to bother me too much. Now, I'm actually going to start losing a good bit of money once I hit the next planet, but until then I kind of want to get as much research put in as I can. And I'm still getting 30,000. That's paying for... Well, that's paying for the colony development, but that's it. Later, it will actually start paying for itself in a lot of ways. The trade will sit there and pay for itself in a lot of ways as well. Actually, between the two, I've got the station invoices pretty much paid for this turn. And the taxes, 10 million is another one of the landmarks that you could feasibly bump up the tax. However, I think that's going to be it for this turn because I'm kind of running out of time, so you have a good day.